For some intermediate material on using OBS, there are some other options you can do and some considerations. For one, know that when you're capturing, especially if you switch between monitors or you've changed your format, it may not capture the whole display visibly, so you may need to shrink the box and reframe it. The other thing is that you can do multiple types of capture. So if we go to this display capture menu again, we have more options. For instance, we could just do an audio input capture, an audio output capture. We can just focus on the browser, the color source. There is one optimized for game capture. When I have my students running the export they made in Unity, this option actually does work much better. What I showed you before was the game test in Unity, not the exported file. So do know you'd want to think about those two differences when capturing a game. We can go to a media source. This is important because sometimes the audio doesn't show up properly if you don't use the media source. And we could do a window capture. So if I were to show something like Premiere, now I can go ahead and capture my different objects here. And this is what we'll do for the Premiere tutorial. The nice thing is it recognized the program here. And if you get that option where it says window and recognizes the program, it should capture the entire thing. If it asks you just to click on the screen, which is more common in older versions of OBS, I've had ones where it did things like just captured the essential graphics. So I had a whole video of just essential graphics. So always make sure you see exactly what's happening here and test that footage just in a real quick, maybe like 10-second test before you go ahead and record your whole video, just to make sure it's working the way you want. Back to Infinite OBS, I'm sorry, but I wanted to show a couple more things in the program interface. You can have multiple capture windows, and one of the interesting things about those is that you can actually stack them on top of each other. So you're seeing one and you're seeing another, but if we were to minimize this, it will show you where the other window is supposed to be. Now, as I said before, I'm having a couple strange technical difficulties recording OBS while also showing other projects, but in the advanced video, you're going to see this work with the webcam. One of the big things I've noticed is my students do not always get these settings right, and they especially forget this output to change it to MP4 and leave it as MKV. If that happens, there's a very easy way to fix it. They don't need to re-record their video. You don't even need to put it in an official encoder. You just go to File, Remux Recordings. Here, you would select wherever that MKV was, hit Open, and it will automatically go to an MP4 over here. If for some reason that doesn't happen, you should be able to change the setting, and then you can click Remux. Now, this is the last setting I want to go over in intermediate. I don't know if many of you can do this. Not that you don't have the ability, but necessarily the permission. I had the permission for 1 year to stream, and then after that, we don't have it anymore. So I used to stream after school help, and I have to do that through a pre-recorded video or through a Meet. And honestly, for some of you, a Meet or some other kind of online platform where you're talking to them in real time might be better anyway. But if you were to stream, one of the things is that you select the service you want to stream with, and you'll notice they want you to connect it to your account. You can also use a stream key. Most of the time, the recommended is going to be to connect it to an account. So I have connected an account here before just by clicking and selecting one of them. I don't have a YouTube account associated with my school account right now, so you'll have to pretend. But it's as easy as that. If you're logged into the browser with your YouTube, it should link to that. And so these were the intermediate settings. I hope they help. And if you want to know more, I'll see you in advanced.